Hey there, so I have started a brand new project. Last week I showed you that I finished the throwback cardigan, so I needed another project to start, and so I'm going to share with you what I am knitting now. And if you like gradients, this one's for you. Hey there, welcome. My name is Felicia from Sweet Georgia, and this is Taking Back Friday. This is a space where we come every Friday and we talk about knitting and spinning and weaving and dyeing and color. I like to talk about making time to make things. Now, in this week's episode, this is going to be really super short, I think, because I have actually a whole stack of scarves that I finished weaving literally last night. There's 5 scarves that I've made. There's another scarf on the loom. There's one from last year here, but there's like 6 scarves that I'm going to talk about in the hand woven color course that's going to be coming out. Well, actually, it'll come out this week. So yeah, so I have to do some recording for all of those videos today. But before I do, I wanted to share with you the project that I happened to start after I finished the throwback cardigan. So last week I showed how I had finished this cardigan. It's a stranded colorwork pattern by Andrea Mowry, and I love that sweater. It was super fun to knit, and I immediately wanted to get going with the next project. And so I happened to have that Chauncey pattern. That's the one that I was telling you about, the Isabel Kramer one. And I didn't have time to go ahead and wind the yarn for that. So I was like, oh no, I need a project. I need something to knit. And so I found the old Hitofude cardigan that I had started knitting a while back. So this is how far I am on the Hitofude. I talked about this in the summertime because I was trying to knit this in the dark and that wasn't working. I took this with me camping and I didn't make very much progress on it. So this has been sitting in my knitting bag for almost a year now, I guess. And this is how far I've come. This is still the sleeve part. And as I was knitting on this, I was remembering how teeny tiny these needles are and how fine and how weird it feels to be knitting a fingering weight sweater. This is fingering weight. This is made out of the SweetGeorgia bulletproof sock, and this is the molasses colorway. This is eventually going to be a nice cardigan when it's done. But this is lace, this is finer yarn, and yeah. So I finally got myself around to winding the yarn that I was going to be using in the Chauncey pattern. So that's the picture of what it looks like. Oop, yeah. You can kind of see here. So it's a yoke sweater as well. It's a stranded colorwork yoke sweater, and it's all knit in fingering weight. And so what I wanted to do was, you can see like there's a main color, which is this darker color, and then there's a yoke color, which is a lighter apricot-y kind of color that she's chosen here, peachy color. And so what I wanted to do was, I'm going to use this marine color, which is a deep navy blue. This is my main body color. And then I'm using a party of 5 for the yoke, and I'm gonna gradient the yoke design. So those are the first 2 colors of the party 5. These are the other these are the other colors of the party 5 that I haven't yet wound into balls because I have an issue with winding balls. And so this is the gradient that's gonna go in the yoke of the sweater, and that's going to be the main color. Yeah, so the yoke pattern is 44 rounds of stranded colorwork, and so what I've decided to do is divide that by 5. It doesn't go evenly by 5, so I'm going to do 9 rows or 9 rounds of each color, and then the first one I'm going to just do 8 rounds. And so I've done that already. I've just started. You can see sort of the beginning of this, but there are 8 rounds of colorwork using this color, and then I've just started the next section of color work with this color. And so my hope is that I'm going to have this yoke that's going to have a graduated ombre color effect down the yoke. It's actually really simple to do. You could do this with any stranded color work pattern that you find. You can just take your colors, divide them up, and then just recolor it however you like. So in this case, I chose the orange color for the top because of just the way that this colorwork yoke design is. You can kind of see That's what the chart pattern looks like. So I'm starting at the top and then I'm moving down this way. And it's actually supposed to be a chart of a beetle. I think it's a scarab beetle. And so you can see obviously down here is going to be, there's going to be more color. There's going to be more concentrated color. And so I really like this color a lot. This is Lollipop. And so I want this to be the most prominent contrast color with this. And then the orange will kind of like fade into the ombre up to the top of the neckline here. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So because the last sweater that I knit was worsted weight, it just felt like it went really, really quick. I had knit that sweater in just like a couple of weeks, whereas this one may or may not take a little bit longer. This is all fingering weight, so it's like half the weight of the worsted weight, twice as many stitches, twice as many rows, twice as many everything, but it feels good to knit, and it feels like it's actually going pretty quickly as well. I think this is about 3 days worth of knitting for me. I don't get the opportunity to sit and knit for hours and hours at a time. So, you know, just this is me sitting, watching the kids ride the bicycles around in circles for 3 days. Yeah. So I'm hoping that by next week I'll have much more, maybe I'll have finished the yoke and I can show you the entire yoke part of the sweater. But yeah, this is what I'm doing right now and it's very, very fun. And I have my lovely little cherry blossom stitch marker here that I got from Leah. Thank you very much. It is awesome. Now, if you like gradients, we actually did put something up in the shop very, very recently, and it is the mini fade sets. And so basically what that is we created a bunch of mini skein sets that are actually 6 skeins as opposed to 5 skeins in a party of 5, but we made them 6, and these 6 will do an ombre from dark to light of a particular color. So there's like a pink that goes from deep pink all the way to baby pink. There's one that goes from black all the way to like very, very pale gray. There's one that goes from like teal, turquoise, all of these kinds of things. So all of these basically take a color and then they fade to white or almost white, and the idea is that then you pair it with another ombre color set, so you go from like color to light, lighter, 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 almost white, and then change to the other set where you go light, darker, 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 darker into the color. So when you combine these two together, you have like an ombre this way and an ombre this way, and it's quite lovely. So we came out with these last year and decided to do another run of them this year for what was supposed to be kind of, you know, this weekend was supposed to be local yarn shop day for many places. We have the Woolith Fair, which is like a local yarn crawl that happens in the Vancouver Lower Mainland. That was also supposed to happen very recently, and all of these things obviously had to be postponed. So we had prepared these kits in advance of that event, and now we have them and we can use them for all sorts of different projects. So that, if you like gradients, you can find that in the shop. And now, just as a preview of some of the things that I've woven on the loom with these gradient sock blanks that I've been talking about for a couple of weeks, I'm going to share with you some of these projects. This is two of the sock blanks, the Andromeda colorway sock blanks, basically crossed over with each other. So one Andromeda in the warp, one Andromeda in the weft, and this is what it has produced. I'm going to talk about all of these scarves in full and complete detail for the Handwoven Color course, and there's going to be a PDF with the downloads for all the instructions for how to make all of these scarves. But that is one of the previews. Here is another one of the previews. These are so pretty, and just I could weave these scarves forever. I had so many ideas. It was very difficult to stop at 6 scarves. I still wanted to make some more. Lots and lots of different combinations and things like that. But yeah, this has been a really, really fun project. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you guys. Now, talking about ombres and extending gradients and things like that, I did something which I've never done before. And that is, you know, our sock blanks are dyed with one color, like blue to purple. And that's it. And so for this first scarf, you know, I did across the width of this scarf, I'm going from blue to purple, right? So just gradient one way. Now, what I did with this last scarf that I just wove last night is I actually wound a warp that is twice as long, which means it's half as wide. And then I took another sock blank and I wound another one that was twice as long, half as wide, and then I put them side by side together. So in fact, I'm getting a centered gradient. I'm going from blue to purple, purple back to blue. And so that is another way of handling a symmetrical gradient with these sock blanks that we've made. So lots and lots of different options that you could do. Obviously, you could also, you know, double them up. You could make them twice as wide. There's lots and lots of different things that you could do with this particular yarn. Before I go, I'm going to share with you my very, 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 very favorite scarf out of the entire collection. And that is this one here. It is so soft and so drapey, you have no idea, but it's basically a sock blank that we dyed for the Secret Stash last year. I over dyed it, and then this is woven with Silk Mist, which is our kid mohair and silk lace weight blend. It is so delicate and so soft, and absolutely, this is my favorite one. Yeah, I could make a bunch more of these. I might do that. In any case, thank you so much for being here for this very, very, very short episode today. I hope you are all doing well. We are in week 6 of being at home. I hope you are staying healthy. I hope that you're staying well. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this episode, please do hit the like button. And if you want to see more things to do with fiber arts and yarn and knitting and spinning and color, please do hit subscribe. And we come here every Friday to talk about yarn. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye for now.
Trying to put my face in.
I see. Are your hands in there? Are you doing some weaving for me?
Mom,
Yeah?
can you make me one of these?
What do you want?
I want a sweater like this kind. It's so beautiful. All these colors, put them together.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
Are you making it now?